Hello, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. I hope you're well. Thank you for being here. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot, and this is your timeless message from your future self. And the reason why it is timeless is because this message is relevant for whenever you stumble upon this video and you choose to view it. It is a collective general reading, and so as messages come through today, just take what fits and leave what doesn't, because if it's not your message, it simply means that it is meant for someone else. And of course, be sure to check out your other placements. If you don't know what they are, in the description box is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. With all of that said, let's begin. Tapping into the Leo collective now, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What would Leo's future self like to tell them at the time of this reading? What would Leo's future self like them to know at the time they're viewing this? One more shuffle here. Thank you. You have Anticipation, card number 3. And at the bottom of the deck, you have Freedom, card number 19. So I'm going to read to you from the Urban Crow Oracle deck the meanings of these cards, and then we will dive deep using tarot to get you a more accurate message or a clearer message. Anticipation. Each morning when I wake up, there is a crow outside my window on the street lamp, anticipating the arrival of a meal. Perhaps I trained the crow, or maybe it was the other way around. When there is a pattern, we begin to expect a particular outcome. Anticipation brings hope and butterflies in the belly as we expect something to happen that brings joy or satisfaction. There is but one warning: be careful of any attachments held for the desired outcome. If what you receive falls short of your expectation, the feeling of joy can transform into disappointment. What are you looking forward to at this moment, and how will you adjust if your expectations are not met? Card number 19, Freedom. Freedom brings the message that you do not need to stay where you are. You can change your position. You can rise up and see the world from a different point of view. You have the wings. All you need is the desire and self-confidence to fly. Freedom brings movement, flexibility, and the ability to expand your horizons. Whether it is freedom to travel, freedom to make the decisions at work, or freedom to splurge on your favorite meal. When this card appears, you may need to ask yourself some questions. In which areas of your life would you like to expand your freedom? And what is your definition of freedom? Interesting message here for the Leo collective. I feel like some of you are anticipating a particular outcome with a situation in your life. And I think what you need to do is to free yourself from that expectation. Instead, I think you need to move in another direction or perhaps do something differently. Let's see where we go with this message. Clarify this further, please, for the Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What do they need to know about Anticipation, card number 3, and Freedom, card number 19? Clarify this further, please, for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. This message from their future self. One more shuffle here. Thank you. We have the Queen of Pentacles, we have Judgment, and we have the Three of Pentacles. In the bottom row, you have the Empress, you have the Nine of Swords, and you have the Knight of Swords. At the bottom of the deck, you have the Hanged Man, you have the Seven of Pentacles, and you have the Eight of Swords, and that leaves the Four of Pentacles here at the bottom of the deck. These tend to be very specific messages, so if it's not yours, please do not be offended. Just check out another placement. Clarify this further now for the Leo collective. We're using the After Tarot deck. If you're not familiar with this deck, the cards in this deck have different images and therefore different meanings, and we'll go through them as necessary for your reading today. For the Leo collective now, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements, please clarify this message further from their future self. We are clarifying the Queen of Pentacles, Judgment, Three of Pentacles, the Empress, Nine of Swords, and the Knight of Swords. Starting to get anxious in your reading. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Queen of Pentacles is clarified by the Six of Cups. Judgment is clarified by the Three of Cups, and the Three of Pentacles is clarified by the Two of Cups. Empress is clarified by the Five of Cups. There's a change in direction. Nine of Swords is clarified by Page of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords is clarified by the Nine of Pentacles. At the bottom of the deck, again, we have the Queen of Pentacles, but this time she's a little bit different. She is being clarified by the Magician as well as the Tower. And that leaves the King of Cups, Queen of Cups, Knight of Swords here at the bottom of the deck. I feel like this message is very specific for Leo placements where you are in a particular, I'm just going to call it situation here in your life. And you are lacking the desire to do something differently. It's like you're a bit stuck. You're comfortable. Six of Cups. There we go. You're a bit stuck. You have become too comfortable in the situation that you're currently at. You're of the belief that everything will always be fine in this particular situation because up until this point, for good or for bad, everything has been just fine. Everything has been comfortable, copacetic. You've been able to manage. It has had its challenges, but you have not challenged the situation, although you have been challenged by it. It's like you autocorrect, you adjust, but then you stay put again. The Queen of Pentacles to the Six of Cups here. Remember, this is a message from your future self. There's something here about not relying on the past or your current situation to exist the way it does today. Change is coming. Change is coming because it is inevitable. I feel like I have a group of you where you're kind of sitting on your laurels right now. You're not doing anything differently. You're not thinking too far into the future. You're like, I'm comfortable, Jen. Lights are on. Food's on the table. What more do I need? What you need is to not expect that this level of comfortability will always be there, or that you will always be provided for, or that everything will just magically work out in your favor. And although it's nice to have that belief and that faith and that hope in yourself and life in the universe, there's also something about taking control of your destiny as the emperor or empress of your life. And so a judgment call here needs to be made on part of the Leo collective that if they want true emotional contentment and a reason to celebrate, they're going to have to change their mindset. They're going to have to free themselves from the idea that everything will always be okay and I don't have to do anything. I don't have to learn anything new. I don't have to change the way I show up in the world. I don't have to do anything differently. I feel like your future self is trying to tell you it's time to get to work, Leo. If I called you Libra, I apologize. Maybe you have some Libra placements or you're dealing with a Libra. But Leo, it's time for you to get to work. You have a gift or a skill that you are sitting on. And I don't know why that is. It's different for all of you. But I feel like it's time for you to engage with this gift or with this skill or acquire this knowledge. It's like it's time to get to work to change your future. Not that there's anything wrong with your present, but your present will not be consistently the same forever. There will be changes. And I feel like you need to prepare for those changes now. If you were to do this, I never get this with the Two of Cups, but I feel like this would be you embracing your future self and your future self embracing you. This is almost like a congratulations. Good job, Leo. You listened to this. You did the work. You made the necessary changes. Empress to the Five of Cups is interesting. The Three Cups that are spilt over here. In some readings, this signifies the ending of a connection. And it may or may not be the case for you, but I'm going with the term situation. There's a situation here in your life that you're quite comfortable in, but it won't always be that way. And there's a need for you from now to start building the foundation for a new situation. Nine of Swords to the Page of Pentacles. This is something where you can't wait for someone to come along and rescue you from this. It's something you're going to have to do yourself. So what do I mean by that? Knight of Swords to the Nine of Pentacles. I think this has a lot to do with your financial freedom, to be quite honest with you. I feel like where you currently are at financially, it's okay. You're comfortable. You don't have a great deal amount of need or want. I feel like your needs and wants are sufficiently met. But I think what your future self is trying to tell you is it won't always be this way. World events occur, markets crash, people lose their jobs, things happen. Individuals we rely on abruptly leave our lives. And there's something here in the Leo collective that you are relying on others or relying on the good faith of others to be there for you. And I don't feel like this will always be the case. There's a need here for you to start acquiring knowledge, developing your skill, and preparing for financial abundance that you create yourself without being dependent on anyone else. Not a parent, not a grandparent, not inheritances, not your spouse, not even your current employer. This will really change the game for you financially. This will allow you to almost create your own wealth that is independent of anyone else's, making you less reliant on other people and giving you the true freedom that you desire. I feel like I'm looking here at the Leo collective if you do nothing, and the Leo collective if you heed this warning. The Leo collective that does nothing will remain stuck and stagnant, waiting, waiting, waiting for someone to come around and rescue them. And what they don't realize, and this is like the future version of Leo collective if they don't do anything, is this self-imposed financial restriction they find themselves in was something they created on their own, because when everything got too comfortable, they didn't look for ways to expand or grow. And you're being asked at this time to expand and grow your skill and your knowledge so you can create true financial abundance for yourself. For those of you that this message resonates and you decide, starting today, I'm going to learn that skill, or take something that I used to work on in the past and I kind of ignored it, I put it on the shelf, time to take it off the shelf, start working on it again. I feel like that is what brings in this financial abundance, and it's yours and yours alone. It cannot be taken away from you by any entity, corporation, or individual, or world events. It's like this is yours. This is almost like creating generational wealth here, all on your own, for your consumption. Let's begin to clarify. I want to know more about the Queen of Pentacles present day here. Because I feel like now you're dependent on something from the past or someone from the past. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Ace of Swords. That's the truth. So you're dependent on the job you've had for quite some time, the way you've always done things, maybe a particular person, an inheritance. There's something here. I've done this a long time. There's no reason to change. But the times are changing. And it's time for you to learn something new or brush up upon a skill that you have so you can become more financially solvent. The Queen of Pentacles is clarified by the Ace of Swords, the Three of Swords, and the Lovers. Bottom of the deck, you have the Four of Cups. This is of your choosing. But I feel like this will create, in the long run, financial hardship for you. Meaning, if you're financially comfortable right now and you choose not to make any changes, you won't be financially comfortable in the future. So this is a choice you get to make now. I wouldn't anticipate, oh, I'm always going to have a job. Someone will always take care of me. Someone will always be there for me. Someone will always bail me out. You know, maybe you are a content creator. Don't be of the belief of, I don't have to change up my business model or my offering. Client base will always be there. YouTube will always be there. That's not necessarily the case. There are always new skills for us to learn, brush up upon, perfect, in order to remain financially solvent. Six of Cups. Tell me about the Six of Cups. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Six of Cups is clarified by the King of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the Eight of Wands. Your time to move forward is now. Your time to expand your knowledge is now. Don't do it for anyone else. Do it for yourself. This is out of love for your future self so you can be financially comfortable. Bottom of the deck, you have the Hermit. So I would go within at this time, Leo, if this message is resonating for you, and look at your current job. Do you like what you're doing? Great. Do you love the industry you're in? That's wonderful. What skills do you need to learn now to make sure that you have that job or a similar position, or you can maintain your position in that industry in the future? Are there some new technologies? Do you need to learn another language, some new computer programs, maybe AI? There's something like that here at play. If you don't currently like your job or you don't like the industry you're in, what would you like? What would you like to do? How would you like to make money? It's time to broaden and expand your knowledge. So I feel like this is twofold here, whether you currently like how you generate wealth for yourself, or if you don't like how you currently generate wealth for yourself. The time for you to expand your knowledge is now. Not when there's a financial collapse, not when you lose your job, not when the business is plummeting, not when you are being phased out of your job because you're being replaced by a computer. It's like the time is now. Tell me about the Three of Pentacles. Tell me about what Leo needs to start working on now. One more shuffle here. Thank you. This This is clarified by the world. I would get ready for things to change. The High Priestess and the Eight of Wands again. Bottom of the deck is the Magician. Yeah. This is very specific for those of you where your job or your position could be phased out by technology or even replaced by it. Or you could be replaced by someone who's an up-and-comer and has more technological skills. And if it doesn't have anything to do with communication or technology, then the job you have, you may need some additional skills to be able to maintain your position in the industry. And if you don't like your job, that's okay. I don't think it'll be there forever. So I think you need to prepare for the eventuality that you either get sick of it and you want to abruptly quit, or for some reason they end up eliminating your position or firing you. I just think the time for you to sharpen your skills in terms of how you make your money is now. Let's say you are a book publisher. That's great. The way you currently write your books, the way you currently edit them, the way you currently publish them is changing. How do you stay relevant in an ever-evolving, changing industry? Do you need to move to audiobooks? Should you have a podcast? And these are not things that you can just suddenly do in the blink of an eye if the publishing company you have always relied on suddenly closes its doors tomorrow. These are skills you should learn from now for in the eventuality that that publishing company is no longer in business. I'm not a fear-mongering tarot reader, and I'm not taking this as a fear-based reading. This just seems to be it's time for you to learn something new or brush up on an old skill that you have. There's definitely something like the time to do this is now. You have everything you need to do this. Like, you shouldn't be afraid of learning something new or expanding your knowledge or perfecting a skill. Like, you're well within, you have all of the ability and capability to do this. And if you start from now, you can take your time to learn all of these skills. There's no rush. It's better to do it now than when the bottom drops out. Maybe I'm speaking to a Leo. You live at home, you work part-time, no shame in that game. You rely on your parents. Maybe they pay for the mortgage, they keep the lights on. What do you do in the eventuality? The day comes your parents are no longer there. Maybe they're retired and they move away. Maybe they go into an assisted living facility. God forbid one day they pass away. Like, what are you going to do? How are you going to survive? So there's just something here about planning for your future in terms of your finances. Start doing it from now. In particular, learn something. Tell me about that Two of Cups. I feel like this is you and your future self. It's almost like, oh, I'm so glad I listened. And your future self is saying, oh, I'm so glad you listened. One more shuffle here. Thank you. This is clarified by the Three of Swords. You saved yourself from that financial ruin. So if you were to do this now, your future self is basically saying to you, you saved yourself from that, because in the After Tarot deck, the swords are out of the heart. The financial wound has been healed. The King of Swords and the Five of Wands. You didn't fight with me. I just heard you didn't fight with me. So when you receive this message, you didn't just go, oh, it has nothing to do with me. You know, la, 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 la. Everything's fine here. I don't need to learn anything new. In the After Tarot deck and the Five of Wands, there is no fighting. So I do believe that this is like your future self saying, good job. You got the message loud and clear in that King of Swords, and then you did something about it in the King of Wands energy. And the Death card's at the bottom of the deck. You transformed your financial future before it changed on you. You were prepared. You were ready. Tell me about the Knight of Swords here. So yeah, there's a new way, a different way here that you can do something or learn something. Tell me about the Knight of Swords here for the Leo collective. This is like you need to take action today to become financially solvent. In the Nine of Pentacles card, this person is very comfortable financially. In fact, in the card, we can see the individual picking grapes. The grapes take a long time to harvest. They don't happen in one day. But this individual now gets to enjoy the fruits of their labor because they put in the hard work, because they put in the effort. We have the Hierophant, learning something new, taking action now, maybe going back to school, taking a course, taking a class, getting some kind of institutional knowledge. Six of Wands, that's what brings your victory. And the Five of Swords, that is how you beat out the competition of the future, whether that's an actual other person looking to replace you or a computer. Bottom of the deck is the Fool. Clarify that Nine of Pentacles here. Clarify the Nine of Pentacles. One more shuffle. Thank you. Page of Swords, the acquisition of knowledge. Four of Wands will create the stability that you need. But the Emperor, you need to take action now. Three of Pentacles to get to work. Let's get you some advice here, my friend. This message is resonating for you. I'll be curious to know what new skills you want to learn, or programs or ideas you have. If you want to drop them below in the comments section, it may help other people with Leo placements watching this video to give them some idea on what they can do to shore up or protect their future financial resources. Like if you write something and you say, well, I found out the community college in my area is giving away free courses in the subject I'm interested in, that might then give the idea for another Leo placement and go, oh, maybe I should contact the community college in my area to see if they have courses available in whatever it is I'm interested in. So again, if you don't want to be too detailed because you don't want anyone to take your idea, I understand. You're trying to shore up your financial freedom, if you will. But if you could be a little vague or give some suggestions, like I said, that might help others on their journey. Remember, at the end of the day, we're all in this together. 3 cards of advice here for my Leo collective. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The 6 of Cups, that thing from the past. 5 of Cups. There's a new way to do it. Knight of Cups, for the love of self. Bottom of deck, Wheel of Fortune. Now is the time to expand. This is Jupiterian energy. And then we have the Hierophant, some type of new institutional knowledge, something new that you can learn, something that's inspiring, creative, and can move you forward and can maintain some type of financial stability or create it for yourself in the past. Your future self does not want to see you get into a position that you refuse to grow when it comes to creating your financial wealth or financial independence or financial solvency. So if this message is ringing true for you, for love of self, start working on it today. Start acquiring some information on how you can ensure your financial stability in the future. Don't leave it to fate. Don't leave it to chance. And don't leave it in the hands of anyone else. That is what I have for you, Leo. That is your message at this time from your future self. If you like that message, it resonates with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype this video if you're able to do that. And until I read for you again, good luck with this. And as always, I'm sending you light, love, and peace.